Welcome to the Blender Goon. In this video we are going to be making some earrings using this head here. If you want this head, you can go to my Discord, and in the helpful stuff I have a plain head blend. You just download it and open it. If you need this head, you can find my Discord in the about section of my YouTube, and it may be in the description of the video. So let's go ahead and get started. First we're just going to delete our head, and I'm going to hit Shift A, Mesh, and we're just going to make a circle, and we're going to change the vertices to 10. Then you can go ahead and hit Shift C, and that'll center your camera back down on the 3D cursor with our circle here. Hit Tab, and we're going to grab every other vertex here and just go ahead and scale them into a star shape. So we're going to go ahead and bevel this star. So hit Control Shift B, and we're going to bevel it, and we're going to roll the mouse wheel down until we have two segments, and you can see that right in the middle of the screen at the bottom. If you look, if I roll the mouse wheel, you can see the number changing. We just want 2. And if you can't find that, when you finally release it, you can change the segments here, just make it 2. Once you have that set, we can go ahead and box select all this right here and hit E, and then move it so you know you got it, and then right click, and we are going to scale to the medium point, and just hit S and scale it in, probably somewhere about there. And then I'm going to change medium point to individual origins and scale it again until the vertex touch each other. And you guys can zoom in closer if you want to see how close they are. Just get them touching, and that ought to be good enough. Once you have those touches, we can go ahead and hit M and by distance, and you should see 5 vertices removed down here. If not, you can change this number. See, now it says none removed, so I'm just going to crank it up just 1, and that'll merge all those vertices together. Then we can go ahead and fill the rest of this stuff in. So I actually want to grab these vertex and hit E, and then we're going to do M at center, and that'll merge those together. Then we can just box select these and fill them in. And that gives us quads everywhere. And we can do the same with these. Hit F, and then if you hit 2 and select this edge, you can hit F. That didn't work. Okay, I didn't think it would. Back to this. Select those 4. F. I'm just going to do them like this. That way I can do the other thing all at once. Hit F and then hit 2 to go into edge select, and then we can just hit F on all of those edges and fill them. And then I want one more loop cut in here. So just Control R to add a loop cut on each one of these, and then left click, right click to confirm, and then right click to drop. Left click to confirm and right click to drop it. So I'm going to add a couple more edge loops. I'm going to add one here, here, and I'm left click, right clicking again here, and I'm sorry, Control R, then left click, right click here and here. And that looks pretty good. Now I want to go ahead and, while you're in edge select mode, and alt select the outsides here. And we're going to go into vertex select mode and just hide all those. So hide all those. Now we're going to grab this center, turn on proportional editing up here, and hit GZ. Scroll the mouse wheel until you like what it's looking like. And we're just going to lift it up a little bit, and then hit Alt H to unhide it. And then I'm going to hit A, do a right click, and smooth vertices. And then we can shade smooth this guy with another right click in object mode. And that gives us a nice little star shape. So now that we have all this, go ahead and hit A and select everything. And then we're going to go up here to the select button, go to select loops and select boundary loop. And while we have boundary loops selected, I noticed that my little corners are turned up. So we're going to hit a SZ0 and that'll flatten the whole thing out all the way around. Then we're going to extrude it on the Z axis down a little bit. Go to face select mode, hold Alt and select one of these vertical edges and that'll select the whole ring outside. And do an Alt E, which extrude along normals, and then move your mouse until you get yourself a nice little border. So if we flip this thing over here, we can go ahead and in the edge select mode and Alt select that inside edge there, and just fill it. And now let's rename this guy. Go in object mode. We'll rename our circle to star. And then if you select this button, Control C that, and Control V that, and rename that to star. And we're just going to hide that for now. So now we need a hook for our earring, and I'm just going to do it with a curve, but I'm going to do a custom curve out of vertices. So go ahead and hit Shift A, mesh, and make a plane. And then go into edit mode, go into vertex select mode, and hit M at center. And that's going to give us one single vertex in the center. Hit 1, and now we just want to draw out the shape of our hook. If you want, you can get a reference image, but I'm just going to wing it. So I'm going to hold Control and just start making like a hook shape. That's a little crooked. I'm going to scale those on the X to straighten that up. And I think that's probably pretty good. So now I can go into object mode. I can hit object, go, actually just right click, convert to curve, and we can go over to our little curve data here. Scroll down to geometry, down to bevel, and just increase the depth a little bit. And for the resolution, I'm going to turn it down, and that should be changing that. 1 will be good. 0 would be good also, because if you shade smooth this thing, you can't tell it's square. And for as small as this is going to be, that'll probably be fine. We'll sort this chunkiness out afterwards. Go back to the top, and we're going to change this resolution to 1. And right click, convert to mesh. And if you hit tab, there's our geometry. Go into edge select mode and Alt Z to go into X-ray mode. And I'm going to select these ones that are kind of just kind of smooth that out a little bit. That don't look bad. This is kind of tight here. And I'm just beveling this stuff to give me a nicer curve. This one's a little janky there, so we'll just move him a little bit. And that's not bad. And then I didn't fill caps, but we can select these and fill caps. This one I'm going to leave empty, but that one I'm going to close up. So now if we want to, we can add some detail to this. So go back in object mode. I'm going to add a torus. So Shift A, mesh, torus. And it's very big. And Alt Z to go out of X-ray mode. And I'm going to change the segments down probably to something like 10 or 12, 14, something like that. And turn these segments down also probably like 5. And then when we shade smooth this, it should look fine. Um, then we want to change our minor radius to squish it down real small, and then our major radius to bring it in. And we're just trying to, we can change the location too, so I want to put some rings over here. So we can change our location on the x-axis. So we'll just move it over this way. And on the z-axis, move it down. That way we can get an idea of where we want this thing. It should be, yeah, it is. So now we can change our major radius and our minor radius again. So we'll get that squished down and this squished down. And then we can adjust our position a little better. To be more or less center. And if we want to center this up exactly, we can select this pole here and go into vertex and select mode and Alt Z to go in X-ray and grab those. Do a Shift S, cursor to selected. That'll bring our cursor here. Then we can go back in object mode, grab this one, and since the point of origin is in the center of this, we can hit Alt, nope, not Alt G, Shift S and do selection to cursor, and that'll plop it right there for us, which is kind of where I want it. And Alt Z back out of it, right click and shade smooth it, see how it looks. Doesn't look bad. And then let's go ahead and throw an array on it. So go to your modifiers and add modifier and arrays up here at the top of the generate. We don't want on the x-axis, we want on the z-axis, so we'll change our factor to 0 on the z, or x, and 1 on the z. And then we can crank the count up until it looks decent. They look like they might be a little too big, so I'm going to hit tab to go into edit mode. Make sure the whole thing's selected. I'm going to zoom back out on it, and I'm going to hit Alt S and just scale it down until it looks okay. Maybe I don't want to do Alt S. I'm actually going to bring it up on Alt S. And then do scale on a Shift Z and bring them in a little bit. And I think that looks better. So now we've got that look. I think I want one more torus, and but I think I want a ball down here also. So go ahead and Shift A, mesh, and let's do a UV sphere. And I'm going to change the vertices down to like 16. If I can get 16. 16 and 8. And then I'll just scale this guy down. Move it down a little bit. Go down some more. Whatever size you think looks good. Probably something like that. Right click, shade smooth it. Check how far it's up in there. You might want to move it down or up a little bit, depending. Right about there. And then if you want, you can go back in the front view, do a Shift D and move that ball over there and just scale it down a little bit. And line it up. That should be fine. This thing's going to be super tiny. So, and it's going to be behind the ear, so you're not really going to see it. And one more torus, so Shift A, mesh, torus, and it comes in the same size as you left it before, so now we can adjust the scale of it and everything here. So the major radius, I want to bring it out a little bit. And the rotation, I'm going to rotate it on the Y by 90. And let's do the X by 90 also. or Z by 90 rather. And then we'll change the location of the Z axis to go down. Something like that. And you can change this major radius and minor radius to be whatever size you want. And then I'm just going to copy it with a Shift D and move it down. Rotate it on the Z a little bit. Probably shade smooth it before we go copying it like crazy. GZ. And just kind of line those up how you like them. And then I'm going to grab both of them with Shift D and move them down again. Maybe rotate both of them around a little bit. Z, line them up. And that looks like a decent hook. You can do some stuff up here if you want. Maybe make one of these rings like bigger and put it inside there if you want. I think that looks a little better. And that gives us a hook to hang our star on, so we can unhide our star. And if you wanted to, you could just put a cylinder here and line it up against the ear, but I'm going to rotate it on the X by 90. Go to front view, move it down. And I think that'll be fine for now. I'm going to take our array and go ahead and apply it. So now all that's actual mesh now. And we'll grab our whole earring and just move it over here for a second and unhide the head, which is somewhere. Where are you, head? What did I do with the head? Ah, there it is. Okay. The head's small. I thought it was big. Alright, let's grab our earring again. We'll move it over here. Scale it down. Whoa. Change your transform back to medium point because it's set on individual origins, so everything's scaled by itself. So now if you scale it, it'll all scale at the same time. Back in the front view, move this up to the ear. Scale it down some more. Period on number pad to move in on it. Scale it some more. It needs to go back on the Y, so GY and slide it back. Move it down. Move it forward. Rotate it. Okay, that's correct, but that's not. So I'm going to grab this guy. It is not going to rotate how I want, is it? It is not. I'm going to change the point of origin of this. Actually, you know what? It's going to be easier just to select the whole thing and rotate it to fit. And then just move the star to where it needs to be. I think that's a pretty good position. Now I can rotate the star to hang how I want it to hang. Something like that. So we have all this stuff all ready to go, and I want to save all this stuff kind of how it is. So I am going to put my head in a different collection. So I'm just going to select my head, hit M, new collection, call it head, and click OK. That way I can hide my head. And then I want to select all of this stuff, and I'm going to hit Shift D, and I'm just going to right click and drop it back on top itself. Hit M, new collection, and call it copies. Because now we have a whole bunch of parts that we can use to go crazy making whatever we want with. So if you guys want to make more earrings, you can grab your copies and have at it. So I'm going to hide the copies, and then I'm going to grab all of this and hit M and put it in the collection because it's not. And now we're in that collection. So I'm going to be using Blender Kit to texture this, and I also put that in my Discord under the helpful stuff. So join the Discord and you get the head and the Blender Kit link. So to use Blender Kit, you just hit N and you find it over here on the right after you install it. So download it and edit preferences and install the add-on, and it'll be over here. You can click on it and go to materials, and I'm going to go to material preview and go down to categories. And I don't know if we have let's try, I don't know, organic or something, maybe brick for, let's do metal first. Metal. And I'm going to select a star. Well, you know what, let's start with the ball. And we need a shiny metal on here. Just find one you like. You can actually search up here too, like if you want gold or silver. So I'm going to go gold. And then you can find a gold you like, maybe something like that. Just click it and it puts it on there. And there it is. And I can do the same here. Once I have this though, I can go to my materials over here on the right and just hit the little drop down and add the fine gold. Same with these guys. I might as well make them all gold. And one more. And since I'm going to be texturing this both ways, I'm actually going to texture this the old way in Second Life by baking textures and importing it. But I'm going to record a second part to this, and it's going to be on my Patreon where I do the GLTF thing that's coming out in Second Life. So if you want to see that, join the Patreon, and you can find that link in the About section of my YouTube, or maybe under in the description. Now for the star. So for the star, I want to put the gold around the border. That's why I made that fancy border over here. So I'm just going to select the back face of this guy and hit Control and plus on the number pad a couple times until it gets the border. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this fine gold on here and assign it to those edges. And then we'll add another material. Hit Control I and assign it, and then we'll just drop something else on there. We need to find us like a coral. Let's see if we got a coral. We don't have coral. So I went ahead and played around and found me a different one. I like this blue one. It's a blue car paint. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to kill this Blender Kit and close this. Now when you're using Blender Kit, the reason I didn't unwrap yet is because when you're throwing textures on here, it adds multiple UV maps and re-unwraps your stuff. So I'm going to use the auto map to keep this and use the UV map to unwrap. So I'm going to change this to UV map and actually get my regular old unwrap. So over into the UV editing tab, period on number pad to find your object. We hit Z and go to material preview again. Actually, maybe I will go back to there. I don't know why it's colors like that. Base colors and stuff. I just want object. There we go. So I changed that up here by going to object instead of material. And now we need to unwrap this guy for something in Second Life so that people can actually texture it. So I'm going to start with the star. And I've got this inside selection. If you don't have it selected, you can choose the color and click select, and it'll select what you have there. And I'm going to go into front view here and just do a project from view. So you project from view, and that gives me my star shape there because I want it to have the most texture space. Then I'm going to hit Control I, and you know what, I'm going to go ahead and mark some seams on this. So edge select mode and select your seams here because it'll just be easier to unwrap like that. And then right click and hit M to mark seams. And then I think up at the top here, I don't know where I want to put it. I think up at, actually I might be able to get away with just unwrapping that like that. So let's select our gold and do an unwrap. Let's see what happens to it. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to grab all this and move it, and then hit A and grab this and move it. Just get it out of the way for now. Our rings, I should unwrap one before I I copied them all, but that's fine. I'm just going to join these guys together real quick. And select an inner ring of each one. You can actually do all this before you line it up with the ear, but that's fine. Right click mark seams, and then I need a loop on each one of them, so I'm just going to grab the top loops. And then I'll grab this loop inside of here because you can't see it. Right click mark seams, A, U, and unwrap. I'm also using Blender Kit, or text tools, so if you search for text tools you can get that add-on. And select it, go to UV editing and rectify, and that'll flatten all of them out. Then I'm going to hit A in UV pack islands and click OK. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Let's see if I can't do something else here. Oh, we don't want to do that. I haven't played with this enough to know how to get everything straight. Let's hit rectify again. And then do the UV pack islands again. And let's see here. Axis aligned. Ah, there we go. Axis aligned works. Let's do that one more time. Pack islands, axis aligned. I'm going to give it a little more margin. And that spread them out a little more. Probably could use some more than that, but that's okay. This one didn't align, so I'm going to hit L on it and rotate it 90 degrees. And just kind of line it up down here somewhere. I'm actually going to move all of these apart a little more. Just so I got some more space in between them, and I'm going to grab those and move those like over here. We need to do the same with these guys. Again, if you're going to mirror something or array something, make sure you unwrap before you do it, because otherwise you get to do what I'm about to have to do. Hide that. And on the back side, my clipping's terrible on this thing. So I'm selecting all these edge loops. And right click mark seams, and then on the inside of here, If you're having trouble with clicking, you can scale the thing up, or you can adjust your view, uh, clip start and clip end. See if that helps. Yeah, that helped. So I just changed my clip start to, I just hit 0 and it put it at that. So now I can actually see inside here to select some rings. So I need to select a ring on the inside all the way down through here. Now you see why you should definitely unwrap stuff before you scale stuff down. All right, A, U, unwrap, A, and rectify, UV, back islands. And I'm okay with that. I really don't care how crazy it is. We're just getting it unwrapped so it bakes okay. Alt H. Nope. Object mode. Alt H to unhide that guy. This thing will be easy to unwrap. You just need a seam in there. Right click mark seams. And I can actually hide this guy and delete that face there because we don't need it because we got the ball on the end. A U unwrap. And rectify. And we'll just move him out of the way. And then we just need our two spheres. So our two spheres, they should already be unwrapped. And I'm going to try it. There's been a bug where when you try to bake it, it doesn't want to bake. So I'm just going to go into edit mode, move that one out of the way, and go into edit mode and move this one out of the way. And then I'm going to select everything, hit tab, and just arrange all this stuff to where I need it. Like I said, I want maximum texture space for the front of this guy. So we'll get him on here looking decent. I don't have to have all the texture space, but I want to use a majority of it if I can. This guy is the back. I don't care that much about him, so we'll make him about yay big. Put him in there. These are the loops, so we'll scale those down a little bit. Maybe try to fit them in here. Maybe rotate them 90 degrees, about a minus. I try to do this so that people can retexture stuff fairly easy. And still leave enough pixel space for things to look nice. Good, now we got these two guys. They're exactly the same size. So I can still adjust stuff around how I want. So, whoops, not HD. So let's move you here. Put those guys there. Rotate these 90 minus. Put them here and scale them back up so I can take more texture space. This guy I can move over and scale bigger. Now something like this and this, I kind of want to make sure they're orientated right. That way, if you want to put like a smiley face on there or something, or another creator can put a design on here and a design on the back, maybe they want to put their logo on the back. So I try to um, add a texture on here temporarily just to see what's going on with it. So I'm going to select this and select this guy. I'm actually going to go to shading with it and click new. Do a control T on it. And when you do a control T, click new, and then you can change this blank to a UV grid. Click OK. Find it over here. Hit Z and material preview. Assign it. And then we can see what it's looking like. It's kind of crazy, but I don't want that grid. I'm going to kill that, add a new one. Because I don't want the UV grid, I want the color grid, because I think the color grid has numbers on it. So I can see if it's facing the right way or not. And that's kind of screwy there. But there ain't a whole lot I can do about that. But I can rotate it. Actually, hit A, so I rotate everything there. Rotate it and at least kind of get it kind of straight. And then I'm just going to assign the same to the front of here. So I can make sure it's going the right way. And it is. It's fine. So I can get rid of that material in object mode. And assign the gold back to that. And there we go. Back to the way we was. Select all. Tab. A to see everything. Make sure everything looks good still. Make any little adjustments you want. I think that looks fine. So now we get in the fun part. Making this for regular Second Life. So control space to get out of here. If you wanted to know, I'm doing control space to go in and out of these windows. And that works on whatever window you mouse over. So let's get some lighting in the scene. Layout, and I'm going to go into viewport shading. And I think I'm just going to use an HDRI since we have Blender Kit. We can. So go to Blender Kit, scroll up here. We'll get rid of this blue. Go to HDRIs, outdoor, and find one where you think you might. That looks like it might be all right. This looks great. We will use this. I'm going to do 1024. Click OK, and ta-da! You've got some lighting. Check out the lighting. Make sure it looks like you want it. I think that looks really nice. Yeah, if it bakes like that, we should be good. Okay, so we got our lighting set up. I got Celestine in my ear because she watches me record all these, and she wants me to show how to change the star from blue to red. And we haven't looked at the materials yet, so let's go take a look at them. See what kind of mess we got there. This is the gold material. It looks easy enough to mess with. And our blue material, well, it looks like we can just change it right here in the car paint. That's cool. There you go. Red. So that works out pretty well. I'm going to control Z that because I'm going to make it blue. But if you want to change the color, looks like you can change it right here. I'm going to hit tab and go into this and see what kind of mess we got here. Light paths and all kind of other stuff. Got texture coordinate node. Out of object. All this should be fine. Make sure I'm on the right UV map here. I am. So this guy, I'm going to go ahead and change it with a Shift S to a UV map, and then change the UV map to auto map and see if that works. Well, that actually looks better. So if you want to fix, if it breaks, just add a mapping node in there, and you can change the scale of it how you want. I'm going to actually change that back to 1 because I like that. Then we need to go back to our gold, which is here, and change this one also with Shift S. So select it, Shift S, input UV map, and we're going to change that to auto map also. All that should be fine. Now we need a image texture. So I have it set up on my hotkey, but it's Shift A, texture, image texture. And then we need another coordinate node, so I'm just going to steal this one. So Shift D and move that over here. And we're going to change it to UV map because this is the one we unwrapped. Plug that into there. Click new. Name it starfish earring. Uncheck alpha. Click OK. And we're going to copy both of these. Go back to our blue and Control V, paste them in. And we should be ready to bake. Okay, so now we're ready to bake. Before I forget, I need to join these together though, because I technically don't have to. I just have to have them all selected, but I'm just going to join them together with the star as the base here. Control J, shading. Make sure this guy's selected. Make sure your object's selected. Choose your other material. Make sure it's selected. Go to your baking tab. And if anybody from Blender Foundations is watching, I hate having to slide this every time I change things. Go down to bake. Scroll down a little bit. And we can go ahead and bake it. Star is not enabled for rendering. So back to layout. And turn the rendering on. That's what that means. So I didn't have that rendering. The head and stuff is off because if you have the head on, it's going to put a black mark. Let me turn this on. So if you have the rendering of the head on, you'll get a black mark where the ear is. You'll get whatever shadows the head's casting on it also, which I don't want. So make sure your star is on and everything else is off. You don't want rendering turned on the other things. So back to shading and let's bake that again. And now it bakes properly. I also forgot to change my sample, so I'm baking at 1024. You don't need to bake at 1024. You could probably bake it like 20. Control space over here. That looks wrong. And let's check why it's wrong. So UV map is correct. Let's check our UV map. That is not correct. This is why. So under UV maps, you need to change. Well, that's right. So the auto map. UV map. Why are these there? What is that? Turn sync off to figure out what that is. It's that one ball. I don't know why it got blown back up, but we're going to scale it down and put it where it belongs. I don't know how that got moved and rescaled up, but now it'll bake properly. Back in object mode, back to shading. Double check these guys again. Good, they're both selected. Back to the rendering. Change my samples this time. I'm gonna make it 300. And bake it again. Now it should turn out better. That's what we wanted. Control space. That looks fantastic. We will save that. File, image, save as. Starfish earring. And save as. Before you guys bake, don't do what I do. I never check my face orientation before I bake. So go to solid mode, object, overlays, face orientation, and make sure everything's blue. If you've got black spots on your bake and it doesn't look like they're supposed to be there, check this. But if you check it before you bake, then you won't have that problem. But I never do, and I have that set on my hotkeys. So now we can mirror this guy. Before I mirror it, I'm going to go ahead and apply my transforms. So object, apply. If you just apply scale, you might be alright, but I'm going to apply all transforms and show you how to fix it because people have been having problems with mirror modifier. Mirror modifier works off of the point of origin. It actually put my point of origin the same as the head, so I'm going to turn the head back on. And the head's point of origin is the same spot as the earring point of origin, so that's good. That means when I mirror it, it's going to mirror properly because it mirrors from the point of origin. So add a mirror modifier, and we have an earring on both sides now. There we go. Throw a peachy texture on her. Good enough. So yeah, they look cute. All right, so we got our earrings mirrored. I'm gonna go ahead, select the earrings, hit the end panel, go up to the top here to item, double check everything. So my scale's 1, so that's good. That means the earrings will be the right size when we log into Second Life. The dimensions are good because, you know, they fit the ear. We can apply our modifier, and then we need to separate them. So in panel, tab, I'm sorry, not tab, object mode, and then go to modifiers, and we'll just apply that modifier. So now we have 2 earrings as one part. So I'm going to go over here to the left side, hit tab, hit Alt Z to go into X-ray mode, box select the whole thing, hit P by selection, and that separates both earrings. Go back in object mode, and now you have one earring here, one earring there. I'm going to hit G and move it, make sure I got everything, and I did. Now I can name this guy left earring. So what I want to start fish earring L, and actually I'll just copy this. Control C, Control V, change that to an R. And I made a new fancy modifier. I'm going to show off my modifier. So it's the Goon modifier. And I can make this rename the bottom just by clicking this button. And then click that one and I made this for load models and stuff. We are good here. Now we need physics models for it, and I'm just going to make planes for it. So Shift A mesh plane, and they are down here at the bottom. And I'm going to Shift D and copy the plane. I'm going to select both of them. Go to File, Export, Collada. Operator presets to static. Starfish earrings DAE is fine. Uh, Uncheck copy. And it's going into my starfish earring folder, so export. Then we go back to our earrings up here. I'm going to select both of those. File, export, Collada. The presets are already done. Starfish earring DAE. I'm just going to name it 1 because I forgot to name that underscore PHYS. Don't forget to make it a physics. This is not. So that's fine. I know what's what. And export. And I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so our earrings are done. They're exported. Now we're going to jump into Celestine's Discord. So there's Celestine, and there she is in world. But I need to go back to mine real quick. Wrong one. And let's upload this. So build, upload, mesh model, and go to our starfish earrings. I did rename these, so I left starfish earring 1 the same, but I renamed starfish earring underscore PHYS .dae so that I know which one's which, and it'll automatically add it when I do this. So we have both earrings in there. They come in as a link set like that. They both look good. Go to physics, choose one, and it didn't do it from file. So we'll do from file, browse, and do our PHYS. And that should give us our physics models, which should be just cubes, but I don't see them on there, so that's weird. I'm going to change the bottom one to 0 for now and calculate weights and fees. One land impact, we'll go ahead and upload them. And I'm going to res them out and texture them for Celeste. And separate them and name them and all that if they res in. Oh, there they are. They're really tiny. Oh my god. We may have to do some load models on these to
see them.
to be able to see them, yes. So edit, um, go to texture. We're going to change this to white. And then
Oh, I see them.
upload image, which is our starfish bake. Upload. Should be able to drag and drop this right here. That'll texture both of them. And they look pretty. We're going to edit the link set. Select one of them and unlink. Go to general. And I believe this one's going to be the right one. And this one left. Oh, maybe they're right. No, that should be right. It named them for me because I named them properly, so that's good. So, I could just take them and hand them to Celestine. Take. And take. Recent objects. Why do I have 3 of them? These 2 should be it because they go from top to bottom. Hand them to Celeste, and let me skip to Celestine's screen real quick. And we can watch her mess around. The quality's a little low, but you guys can see what she's doing here. And you can go ahead and talk, Celeste.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm zooming in here. In case you don't know, Control 0 will zoom in, Control 8 will zoom out, and Control 9 will reset. So yeah, so I'm zooming in so I can see what I'm doing. And then right here, this is my left ear, so I'll add this to attach to ear, left ear. See if I can find it here. And then
That's the wrong side.
is the wrong side?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're,
So left is right and right is left.
you sure?
Okay, so That's left ear, so I attach it to the right ear. Right ear.
Yeah.
And right ear attached to left ear. Okay.
So when you name them the. That's not right.
They're identical, so it doesn't really matter,
It does
right?
matter. Well, maybe
But
not.
you made
Maybe not.
them with mirror, but
Maybe I named them wrong and they're just rotated backwards. Who knows?
yeah, but they're easy to rotate back to where they belong.
Hmm.
Does that look right?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, you can put them wherever you want them.
That. Oh, that's looking good.
Yeah, they look good. Let me jump back into mine and see how they look from a distance here. Are you going to change some stuff there? So she put the shiny on low so that
Yeah.
they shine a little bit. And let me take a look from my screen and see how they look. See how bad they're breaking and whatnot.
Another thing I
Oh, they're
could
not.
do.
They're okay.
Yeah, I could do shininess and then click here and do blank,
Yeah.
and then I can.
Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how it looks because you didn't bake any specular or anything.
Right.
But if I want something that, if I want some shine on it, I can go to my little texture here and just choose the blank, which is a white texture. That means this is full super shine right now. But I can play a little bit with it. Let me show the highlight off, or turn the highlight off so we better can, so you can see better. And if I find another win light, I don't know which one. Whirly Goon Days usually working.
Yeah, probably not on this sim. This is a GLTF um, sim,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
who knows what
But
the wind lights are going to do.
yeah, true. But I can turn this up now. You see the effect.
Turn your highlight back off.
Huh?
Turn the highlight back off.
Oh, turn it back off. Yes. So it was at what, 50 before?
Yeah.
But if I turn it up to full power here, you see it glows a little bit, and then I can play with this one. Usually I keep that really low, and it's just one material, right?
Right.
You didn't separate in any way,
No.
okay?
Well,
Because
they are separate materials.
they are.
Yeah, there's gold and there's yeah.
Oh, good. So since that's the case, I would select that one and then turn the shine on this one bluish, and then the other one here is gold. I'd probably make that a little golden as well.
Oh yeah, look at that. Sparkly, sparkly, shiny, shiny. Pretty.
Shiny, shiny, and it's a little bit more uh, detailed sparkle than if I
You want to
just
show them?
use
You want to show them how to do the copy thing? Can
I
you?
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I go over here and select this one, I can copy its materials right here. And when I go over here, select that one, I can paste it. So now it's the same.
That's the quick way, and I can't remember how to do that stuff.
It didn't copy the color here. I'm
Hmm.
not sure why. It should have. But let's try again then. That material, copy. Hmm.
No.
Nope. Well, since that's not working, I can just save that color there and then go over here and stick it on again. I'm not sure why that didn't work actually. It should work, I think. But since it didn't.
It worked for everything but the color, huh?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Get back into
And
mine so you guys can see it from my point of view.
I mean you can turn on full bright, but I'm not a fan of it, except if you're making lamps or something. You could give it a little bit of glow if you wanted to.
I mean, I think it looks great the way it is.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Earrings. So I've been told that the load models of things that you wear don't follow the normal load model problems that regular things do. So that's probably why they don't crumble when I back off of them. They're holding their shape pretty well. So that's it for the earrings. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the GLTF version of this. If you notice, everything on this sim is white because it's all GLTF stuff. And that's actually my kettle. But my kettle's actually textured, but you can't see any of it because it's GLTF. So I'm going to be making a GLTF version for this these earrings for my Patreon. And don't forget to take a look at Celestine's channel. It's in my About section of my YouTube. She does some clothing videos for Second Life from the old Blender Bender school. And that's it, guys. I will see you in the next one.